We're going spearfishing today. We got some backup with some rod and reels. We're going to try to shoot some cobia, some big red snapper. Maybe we'll try to jump in and try to shoot some blackfin behind a shrimp boat. Today should be a beautiful day. We should catch a lot of fish. It's gonna be calm, so we're heading towards the west. West is best, as my boy DP from down the bay says. And we'll see you there. Keep on casting.
Keep On Casting is brought to you by Thibodaux Regional Medical Center. Bronco Industries, leading the field in industrial construction and fabrication. Real Outfitters, proud to be the first family-owned tackle store in Thibodaux, Louisiana.
Cutting some chum right now, getting ready to be prepared for when we pull up and fish. Interested in what's going on the boat. Purpose here is we're gonna take this bucket full of pogies and we're gonna pull up to boats, rigs, and we're gonna dump it in there, try to stir up an interest of fish so Nicholas and his crew can jump in and shoot them with spear guns. We need to fish close to the surface because they haven't been working on their breath holes. I'm just joking.
Dessa vez m'en aller en notre pays pour libérer mon esprit.
So when we're diving, we always want to keep people on board to help offset, take the fish off the hooks, and also just keep an eye on everybody at all times. I'm counting heads in the water. I'm aware who's overboard, who isn't, who's swimming. Now what they're doing is they're down current right now, so they're just kind of spinning around, keeping their heart rate low. Then when they see the fish come up or they see a fish they want to target, they're going to dive down. Now the key to getting down there is not getting down there quick. You have to take your time, control your breath, and relax yourself. Because if you try to get down real fast, you're going to exert too much energy. The better you get at it, the more you know that I can go, say, 50 feet, hold my breath for about 20 seconds. And that's kind of the game, because even if you're going after the fish, you're still waiting for the shot. So basically we got divers in the water. They all got GoPros on. They all started diving with us with bow and all, shooting mangroves, and today's adventure is kind of taking it to the next level. We're in like 400 feet of water, trying to shoot some different fish, trying to hopefully get some cobia and stuff like that. Right now, Nicholas has a fish called a yellowjack on.
He's barely on.
Beautiful fish. I've never caught one before.
There's a bunch of them down there. Good.
Wow, that's a good one. Look, mangrove snapper, that's a good one. Hey, good job. So, anyways, I keep this glove on board because old Bo Lee, he says the steering wheel gets slippery on the way home. Beautiful, good job, Will. So we're here for. Want some bigger ones, but this is good enough. Another beautiful Almaco jack, some good white meat. I think they're a lot better than amberjack. It's just my personal opinion. Nick likes to smoke them on a Traeger, make a little smoked jack meat, make a little dip with it. Good to go. We're about to try to catch another Warsaw, and then we're gonna start heading a little shallower, target some cobia. Keep on casting. Whoa, boy, look at that one. Good job, Nick. Bring it up.
Turbo Grove.
Boy, that's a stud mangrove.
That's a hammer right there, boy. Let's go get another one.
Beautiful mangrove snapper. Look how dark he is.
Dude, he was white when he swam up to me. It's good. I guess it's because I stoned him.
Nick made a good shot on it too. Take it down. Keep on casting. Beautiful mangrove snapper. So we've been hanging around on the same bar for a while, and there's a big group of mangroves. We went down on them probably 50 foot, hung out on top of the bar. This thing showed up, I went to shoot him. Gun was on safety, had to hurry up, flip it on fire and stoned him. We're filling up the box, got some good meat, some good slabs. Nothing like a good mangrove snap on a half shell. Hey, another good mangrove.
They down there, it's just they're like 60 foot down, like it's fucking forward. You gotta wait till they come up a little bit.
Good job. So far we got 6 big mangroves, yellow jack. We've got some bites on a red snapper. Y'all stay tuned. Keep on casting.
Hey y'all, I'm Chef Nathan Richard, and today we're at the Cuvée Wine Bar and Bistro restaurant in Thibodeau, and we'll be cooking a swordfish piccata with a little crab fat and caper butter. We'll take our swordfish here. We got a nice chunk of swordfish. I like to start by removing that bloodline out real quick. Some people like it in there, some people don't. I'm not a big fan of it, but we'll just remove that out right there. All right, what we got there is not too bad, so we'll keep that. And we'll cut little small steaks out of them. Roughly about 3 ounces. Like so. Next we'll go ahead and season them. A little salt, pepper, a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Any Cajun seasoning will do. One of my favorites is probably the Paul Prudhomme's blackened seasoning. Again, use whatever you want, no big deal on them. Go ahead and make sure we get both sides, right? Most important thing. I choose to use a blackened seasoning because I like the sugar content. You know, to me, the sugar, when it comes to cooking, is a major component of your taste buds. Something sweet, you know. All right, next up, we're gonna go ahead and bread them. Got a traditional breading station set up. A little bit of flour, egg wash, with a little bit of egg wash. We got a little whole milk, You could use buttermilk if you want, no big deal on that. And then we just got some homemade breadcrumbs. Again, you can use Italian breadcrumbs if you want. Season them yourself, do whatever you like on that. So we take the swordfish, lightly flour each side, egg wash, and then we'll just lightly bread that. Now, you don't have swordfish, you can use any type of steaky fish you got. Tuna is another great one that works with it as well. Really, you're not fried tuna with little breadcrumbs, really not that bad neither. So, then from here we're gonna go into a hot skillet where we're gonna go ahead and pan fry them. So now we got our grease hot. You know, you're kind of running at a good smoking temperature. Normally I try to pan fry anywhere between 300 to about 325 when it comes to pan frying. So take our swordfish, carefully and gently put them down, one at a time. Most importantly, you don't want to try to crowd your skillet. You just want enough room for all that fat to fry nice and crispy and evenly is the most important. You start crowding your skillets, everything gets a little bit gummy and it doesn't really cook properly. So you see, very short time you want to cook them to a nice golden brown. You're probably looking at a minute on each side. We'll go ahead and check them. Oh yeah, look at that. Exactly what we want right there. That's beautiful. All right, again, wait a minute, cook it on the other side for about a minute, and then we'll put them on the side and pop them in the oven to kind of keep them hot. What I like to tell people is when you got this frying oil is make sure you don't throw that away. This is where a lot of your flavor comes from, and it's gonna start our next process of cooking. Like I said, we got our used oil or fat from our searing of the swordfish. We got it nice and hot again. We got a little bit of that gras-doux on the bottom of the skillet. We're gonna help it out. We're gonna add just a little bit of crab fat to that. That's right, some good old crab fat. One of my favorites to cook with. Boy, it's popping like crazy over here. It's breakdancing away. Add some fresh garlic into that. Some shallots. Comb that down a little bit. There we go, look at that. I think crab fat's one of the crab fat's one of the best next to bacon fat. Add a little red pepper flakes to it. Don't be scared, it ain't gonna be hot. I know what you're thinking. Get a nice little mix. We'll add some lemon juice. Some white wine. A bit of hot sauce. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of butter, capers, fresh parsley in there. Yeah, might as well just add the rest of it. Look at that. She's looking for a nice brown little sauce. After our swordfish has been cooking in the oven for a little bit, about 5 minutes max, so it doesn't take very long to cook. Oh, look at that right there. Perfect, 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 perfect. Set that on the side. We'll get our sauce back heated up again. Shouldn't take that long, it's already getting back to temp. Next, we're gonna add the pasta. All right, I like to use tagliatelle pasta, it's a little bit of thicker noodle, but hey, you can use whatever you got, spaghetti, fettuccine, whatever you have in your house is fine. You know, I prefer this pasta. We're gonna add that. So our pan, give it a little toss, coat those noodles. And we'll go ahead and add some beautiful jumbo lump Louisiana crab meat into that as well. We just kind of toss that around without making a big mess. Once we get that a couple of toss, we just go ahead and plate. All right, get your pasta. I like to eat big, so we'll make that one nice big serving right there. I know what y'all saying, I'm leaving all that crab meat in that skillet right there, but you know, swordfish. Right around there. push all that back. Make sure we get the good stuff right on top of that drizzle. Good little butter sauce, get that crab meat on there. There we go, garnish it. A little bit of dehydrated crab fat. Some fresh Parmesan cheese. And some nice little microgreens that we got out of the garden. And there you got it, swordfish piccata with crab fat and crab meat butter.
That's good fish. You can find this recipe and more at keeponcastingtv.com.
So, sometimes he can't let it all work out. I ended up putting a really good shot in this fish. Unfortunately, the spear didn't go all the way through, the flapper didn't deploy. So I was going really easy on him. He ended up wrapping up on the rig. Told Jules to go swim down, get a second shot on him, put a good holding shot right straight through the middle of the body. And his shaft wrapped up too. It happens. You can't be perfect about it sometimes. We ended up having to cut both shafts off. All we have to do is re-rig, but yeah, solid Almaco jack in a boat.
All right, so right now we're giving the guys a little break, let them get some food, some electrolytes in them so they don't start cramping up. A lot of times when you dive and you stay in there a long time, you'll start getting cramps in your calves and your arms. You don't realize how much, energy you're exerting, and that salt water doesn't help with the hydration. So we're gonna give them a little break, get some food in their bellies. At the same time, Matt's gonna sit here with the Warsaw bait on the front, and we're gonna try to yank one of those big slugs out of the rig. Hey Gage, your daddy was a window maker, boy? Huh? Your daddy was a window maker? No, I can't see. I used to fish for a guy named Bobby Terrebonne. He's a legend around these parts. He's probably did it 25, 30 years. And he was a great guy. He used to always tell me that when I was his deckhand. Hey Dax, your daddy was a window maker? Get out the way. Every day. You may hook a fish closer to the rig more often because they both have a chance of pulling them out. It's like, what's the point of hooking them if you can't get them out? So right now we're Warsaw fishing again, giving those boys a little break. Those big Almacos kind of put them in a bind. They're using all that terminology they heard on the internet. Recovery shots, secondary shots. I call it double tapping. He's down there, Matt. What? He's down there, I see him. It looks like we're in a good spot. We got a lot of stuff on the fish finder, depth finder at the bottom. Underneath these rigs, there's a lot of pipelines tied into these rigs. Usually you can catch some big Warsaws pretty far off of them. We're hoping that today's the day that we float one of those big slugs. Great color.
Red snapper. Massive snapper.
Wait, what's that? Hey, watch that.
Grab that weight. Started off just dropping down, letting it bounce off the bottom, trying to catch a Warsaw. And got a few hits, let it take it, cranked it up, and it was a huge red snapper. So, big fish.
Pumped?
Yeah.
Hey, good job. Caught that big snapper, trying to group a fish. We were about to leave. We were almost out of time. I got to set a clock because I'll get carried away trying to group a fish. Me and old Bo Lee, we'll sit here for hours while people just bake in the sun. One more time. So I usually just set a clock. Right before the clock went off, we ended up catching that big red snapper. So I was like, man, we got to do that again. Well, this time I used a piece of that horseye jack because we're catching a lot of Almaco jacks and jack meat. So I said, well, let's see what's on the menu down there and see if it works out. Right now we got Will on the line, and it looks like a bigger fish. I keep asking Nick, he said he got a little bit more drag. We're hoping when you catch a big warsaw, you're pulling them up from so deep. When they get about 50 feet from the surface, the line will usually go slack and they'll start shooting up to the surface and pop out the water like a big balloon. But I'm really hoping we get one today.
Not really. It looks long.
It's a red snapper.
Sharks are on.
Sharks are getting it.
Hold that.
I said swivel.
Swing it to me, buddy. Come here.
Hammer, boy.
There's a hammer snapper. That's a snapper right there.
Carrying the yellowfin. All right, well, we filmed a different show today. We dove down, shot some good fish. We had a great time. Everybody worked hard, everybody swam hard. As always, we want to thank our veterans. And until next time, keep on casting. Boudreaux and Thibodeau are going ice fishing. So they show up at this little bait shop in middle Nebraska. And they don't know what they're doing, so they talk around and they say, hey, you need to start with a pickaxe. So they go in the bait shop and they say, we need 2 pickaxes. So they take off. About 3 hours later, they're back in the bait shop. They look at the cashier, they say, we need 2 more of those pickaxes. Man goes, all right. So he sells them 2 more. About 2-3 hours later, they come back, say, we need 2 more pickaxes. He said, what are y'all doing? He said, usually people buy a pickaxe and it lasts them like a lifetime. He said, well, I mean, we almost got the boat launch built.
Avec tous les jolies filles, je suis gonna la blue moon. Je suis gonna la blue moon. Oui, moi je danse avec les filles. Oui, c'est juste pour m'amuser. Je bois le bon Red Stripe pour me rafraîchir. Moi, l'aime les filles.